So welcome, beloved hearts. This is Anrita Melchizedek, and I'd like to welcome you to this October energetic update. And it's just been such a powerful month. In fact, this whole year has just been a very powerful year in terms of taking us ever deeper into the presence of our beloved I Am through our ability to balance and rebalance, and once more to expand our light upon the sacred earth and to step up into deeper levels of service as those mission codes are activating, as all the light codes are activating from within. And of course, what is occurring for us energetically is that we are just deepening into that fifth, sixth dimensional frequencies of divine love and unity consciousness. And this month's theme has been very much around the deepening of the Divine Mother, holding our energetic frequency through the loving heart as the nurturers, as the carers, as the divine feminine frequency holders, and emitting and receiving through that deepening heart of love, at the same time a rebalancing of the masculine and feminine, and the birthing of deeper levels of the inner Christ, the birthing of that innocence and divinity from within, as we expand into the various light bodies. And with that, then we've had the eclipse gateways. So the eclipse gateways are always very interesting for us, because on one level it's always like a reset and a new beginning. And then there's another level to it where the light that we receive from the sun, that is the solar light frequency, which of course energizes and charges each cell through solar crystalline consciousness, temporarily is not available to us, because we've got the moon blocking that sun frequency. And that then is when we on some level become more human again. But it's also a moment then to allow us to transform, to transcend, to release through that process of letting go of all that no longer is working for us. And what's been occurring, and I've been noticing this with a lot of way showers talking about this too, but we're experiencing now that next level of the plasma light frequency, the fluidity of the plasma light activating through the bodies and energy, and particularly up and down the spine. So what we have then initially is that there's primarily three stages. So we have the first stage is always opening the heart. So that is keeping the heart open no matter what we are experiencing, to know ourselves as love. And within that then, what we are deepening into is the experience of just loving all that arises. And then the second part of that is that we're activating the pineal gland. So this is very much then the infusions of the photonic light coming through. As the pineal gland is activating, the photonic light is then the soul light. And the photonic light then starts to take us into the process of the light body activations. So that first level, what we've got then is the human light body, then we've got the crystalline light body, or some call it the solar crystalline light body, and then we've got the rainbow light body, and then we move into the plasma light body. And then there's so many beyond that. So that first stage then is very much where we're keeping the heart open, we're releasing the judgments, we're releasing the blame, letting go of the victim persecutor consciousness, moving from 3D, 4D into 5D, which is the divine feminine, which is the being aspect. And the photonic light, the infusions of the photonic light are coming through as diamond white light down the spine, and the kundalini is igniting. And so we're clearing from chakra to chakra, and through every subatomic particle in the body as a subatomic particle spin in that increased light frequency. Then from the heart activations, we move into the head activations. We move then from the pineal, then we move into the pituitary, the thalamus, and the hypothalamus glands. And this then is part of where we start to experience the crystalline frequency too. The pineal gland itself is where we move beyond the veils of illusion. So the veils of illusion then are really just the limitations because we don't see. So the pineal gland and third eye become the primary sight as we attune to our natural state of beingness in deepening levels of soul embodiment, merging with all these multidimensional selves, higher selves, future selves, galactic selves, angelic selves, all of those beautiful higher self aspects are merging and integrating in deepening levels of embodiment, which becomes the beloved I am presence. And then the third stage and that we're moving into is this activation of the spine. So when the spine is activated, what occurs, it emits plasma. And this is a very powerful energy that elevates the vibrational frequency of our body. And it enables our body then to become, in a way, we can say, this light ship, this ability to transverse and travel into different dimensional realms and access higher states of consciousness. So as the body is emitting the plasma, we also become less susceptible to lower vibrational frequencies that are all the 3D, 4D frequencies, and we're able to navigate with a lot more grace and ease. So you could say, in a way, when we are moving into that plasma light body stage, which is where we are collectively moving into now, a lot of that 4D, where we're there for a very long time, that 4D is very much the feeling body, but it's also the heaven and hell archetypal frequencies that we are playing out. That heaven and hell archetypal frequencies, we're clearing a lot is coming up to be cleared all the time. We feel sometimes completely bipolar. We don't think that clearing is ever going to end. Of course, that's just a deconstruction phase. That is also part of the activation. As the activation is the light codes activating from within, the deconstruction is very much that clearing of the density and the false beliefs and judgments and all that go with it as we collapse and dissolve those lower timelines. So the plasma then makes everything in the body, that makes everything sort of jelly. The spine and the bones is where we're now moving into. So we've been moving through the muscles, we've been moving through the cells, and now we're moving into the bones. And when we move into the bones, it's very, very uncomfortable. What you will find, for example, is a lot of the stuff is stuck in the jaws, it's stuck in the joints. All the bones in the body are going to be experiencing movement and expansion and contraction. And we're going to be experiencing that too. And often what occurs at this stage, and I've seen it with me and with others talking about this, is that we actually can't even sit on a chair all day. We have to lie down on our beds become our office, and we sit there with our little pewter tables, whatever it is, and we work a lot from there, because the spine can't sustain that ability to be erect and upright, because everything is malleable. Everything becomes softer in a way, and the body also needs a lot more magnesium. It needs a lot more calcium at this stage, and there is a great level of discomfort. And this is also part of what the Kundalini is also igniting and activating. And the spine then, that whole back, becomes a map where every single thing that we've held in is now being released from the shoulders, from the middle back, from the lower back, and it's very, very, very uncomfortable. So this is a point where we focus a lot on our body, but also particularly on our back and our spines. And when we're focusing then on our back and our spines, what we're doing is that we're doing massage, we're doing body work, we're getting our massage sticks, we're doing massage balls, and it's also a time when we feel very, very sleepy. This plasma crystalline light body stage is much more sleepy than a lot of the others. So we move out of then the pool of the lower dimensional frequencies of the 3D and 4D and the traumas and the false beliefs and the judgments and the pain and the shame, and we're just keeping the heart open a lot more. But we find it difficult to keep the eyes open, because the body's just taking us deep into new levels of restoration and activation, to shift into the ability to hold more of that divine light that we are. I just again call it our beloved I am presence, our magnetic consciousness. So we move from the star seed to the soul seed to the galactic aspects of ourselves, and then into magnetic source light. And that magnetic source light is immersion with our soul groups to, we call it all 144 soul ray aspects of ourselves. It's a process that's continuous and ongoing. And from there, it's the next level, depending on where our consciousness is, where our focus is, where our intention is, where we're working on this level or that level, or more quantumly, or within the various ashrams and cities of light, depending on where that focus is for us. It's different for each one of us, although we have two clusters that are working together, the soul clusters on the inner planes. So it's a very beautiful expansion of our consciousness that occurs, but we need to honor that downtime and all that we experience with it, because really what we're doing is we're building our light body, and our light body is our soul body. It's everything that expresses for us to be the ascended beings on this sacred earth. And also this is the place and space through the plasma light body where essentially we're able to activate the macabre. And initially we're using the sacred geometry of the star tetrahedron itself until we ourselves expand into the gateways, into New Earth, into the fifth dimension and beyond. And from there, then it just becomes atomic, becomes just atomic consciousness that we're working with for the macabre activations. And so we can say then that plasma is something that really is a way that we experience our light through the body, and it also has very distinctive properties and quality. And essentially, to start with, what we need to generate and build our plasma light body is we call it an abundance of energy, but basically an abundance of light. And so in order to experience that abundance of light, we need to experience the ability to expand our light, to be taking that time for ourselves, to being out in nature, to doing our meditations, to nurturing and loving, and doing all to raise our frequency and vibration. That's what expands our consciousness, and that then allows us to move through those processes that I was expressing to you, keeping the heart open, activating the pineal, the higher mind coming on, the infusion of the photonic light moving through the body, and also then generating this bioplasmic energy through the body. And how we then do this is that we deepen into the activation of the DNA. So this original human crystalline blueprint that activates within the body is actually through this plasma light. It's a silicate matrix DNA template that then starts to bring the light body on from the carbon to the silica to the crystalline consciousness by creating the crystals. And the crystals are activating initially through the pineal gland, and then they're starting to activate through the body. And those crystals actually change color depending on what we're working with. And initially it's gold, a lot of gold. We experience, just because everything is Christ consciousness. What is Christ consciousness? It's crystalline consciousness. So the crystals that start to activate through our body that we start to see as gold. And then as we move into the gold merges through the rainbow, which means the chakras are starting to merge. And so we start to experience a rainbow light body. So the crystalline light body and the rainbow light body are, it's all, we're going through all of this simultaneously. It's like we start to see hues of different colors, rainbow light, and at the same time then we're getting all 12 chakras initially activating within and along the spinal column. We're also activating the 33 vertebrae of the spinal column, and all of this then is a way that we then are able to experience these harmonic oscillations or the vibrating frequencies that allow then for us to experience this energetic balance and enough light that it brings online this plasma, because this plasma then allows for this color wave spectrum and frequency state of our metaphysical body to create these crystalline patterns and complex colors of arrangements through the living DNA. And it connects into the magnetic fields that then form these filament structures and bonds that connect into other states of matter. And so we then start to emit these plasmic light filaments that are interconnected lines of light that connect through and to everything. And then what occurs is we experience, if you can call them, the plasma light fields, which are different to the unity grid. It's like plasma light codes around us, And we experience it a lot when we're out in nature. So these plasma light frequencies then are these filaments of light. And these filaments of light, you can say they form these geometric structures. These plasma light waves are all around us. And we start to receive information then not only from within us going out, but from without coming in. And what you will notice is in your eyes may blink a lot. You are receiving information like this. Your eyes are blinking a lot. They may move up and down, or they just may go backwards or forwards. And even when you're out in nature, what happens is that we move into the altitude of the plasma light ray frequencies. Initially, it actually changes the breath, which is why we do different breathing techniques too, because for a time when the plasma light comes in the fusions of the body and the bones themselves become malleable in a way, like there's a softness of them in order to release the trauma within the bones, and the body itself can't really stand or sit for long periods of time. We have to really kind of lie down. You're receiving these light codes through the eyes too, and it's just streaming in consciousness, activating all. So it's another way that we are expanding our light. There's different stages, and that's the one that we're now in a lot. And at the same time, we're also moving through and deepening into the galactic aspects of our consciousness. So the galactic gateways are now activating for greater remembrance of being, star beings, not just star seeds. So we've moved from the star seed where we're emitting, it's all the light codes that we're activating initially of the remembrance that we star seeds, of the remembrance that we're here in service, of the remembrance that we have our mission to assist in expanding the consciousness on the sacred earth, to embodying the soul aspects where everything initially is outside of us. In the starseed stage, everything is still outside of us. We're channeling and we're just receiving the frequency activations and at the same time activating the light codes from within. But in the soul seed aspects of ourselves, we're merging with that innocence. And it's a different frequency. It's an innocence. It's a divinity. And now we're moving also into the galactic aspects. So the galactic aspects are essentially power and love and wisdom, but much more detached. It's the soul is the nurturing, the loving, the divinity, the innocence, the growing up again, because we forget everything or it wasn't remembered. Those timelines that collapsed, they weren't important, or in fact they just weren't necessary to remember, although we can recall when we need to. And we relearning, remembering, and redoing everything through the eyes of the soul and the innocence. And then the galactic aspects is what brings on a new level of power for us, where we experience ourselves as Sirians and Pleiadians and Andromedans and Arcturians, and it's just all deepening levels of power with increased levels of gifts, greater levels of telepathy, greater levels of quantum communication, greater levels of healing gifts. Everything that is the ability to hear, to feel, to sense, to attune and tune, all amplifies. And a lot of the galactic karma is what we're now clearing, because even those higher dimensional galactic aspects and angelic aspects of ourselves, they are still karmic timelines, and we're continually rewriting from each now moment that universal akasha, our ability to magnetize, manifest, bring forth all that we need in any given now moment. So there's a lot that occurs, and I absolutely love working with the Andara frequencies because they really just attune us in deepening levels into that multidimensional focus. And right now we are at the pivotal point of jumping timelines, and so things can be confusing too, because when we're experiencing multiple timelines, what actually occurs is that it can be a little bit confusing. So it's like really just continually raising our vibration in each now moment, continually just letting go, releasing, not holding on. and bringing all back into the loving heart, because a lot of this work we don't actually need to do ourselves. The moment that we are just trusting and surrendering to our universe, it's all unfolding and occurring for us naturally. There isn't so much that we actually need to do. But when we go through those times when things are coming up and they're very deeply uncomfortable, then we have to say, well, what are the tools that we have, or we've got to push ourselves through whatever's occurring so that we can step up into those gateways and hold ourselves. But also it's honoring when the body's needing to sleep, we sleep. When the body's needing to rest, when the body's needing to be outside, we get ourselves outside. Nature's the one thing that we really look at. So you're taking the vitamins, you're taking the nutrients, you're taking the tinctures, you're taking the essences, you're taking yourself out into nature. And the other big thing that's coming through and that we're experiencing right now, it's the hertz frequencies, the gamma hertz frequencies. And the gamma hertz frequencies, it's also related to the gamma light bodies. So the gamma hertz, it's also fifth dimensional healing light frequency and light codes. And that also the inner ear frequency. It's like a lot of the inner ear sounds that we hear are really those healing frequencies, and that's also a completely different energy. So everything that occurs simultaneously is also occurring for many at this now moment, because we are collectives and we move through particular frequencies and activations in that commonality of consciousness through the beloved I am presence. And what we are doing now is that we're expanding into that energy too of the Divine Mother, the Divine Feminine. So what the eclipse gateways then do is that they bring up everything that feels unworthy, that feels lesser than, that still feels unloved and unappreciated. And it takes us into just where we have to hold ourselves into deeper levels of nurturing and love and appreciation. And that's really where we are right now, is that we're just deepening into that self-worth and that self-love and that self-appreciation and the nurturing of self, and shifting where versus a lot of our energy has been given out to others, we're now bringing it back in for ourselves. And that really is important, where we now are shifting it, where before we were always the caretakers, we were always where everything was giving of our energy and we had nothing left for ourselves. It's now shifted where we give to ourselves first, because our bodies are light. It operates differently. When we run out of light, we actually can't function. So we always ensure that we have that light. And then from there, what we do is that we then deepen into holding our light, expanding our light, and then stepping up where we can in different ways through service in love. But in this present moment, everything is about opening the heart into deepening levels of love, of drawing to us greater levels of love. And we take that moment for that breath to just deepen into loving ourselves and appreciating ourselves and all that we are, because it is very, very important. And mostly then, as we extend our loving hearts, we're extending it out to others and to everyone too. And that's such a beautiful one. So the awareness right now is how we express from our heartfelt center of divine love, how we share our love with others, how we receive that love, whether it's in self-nurturing, whether it's through also friends, family, partners, how we share that love, and how we also deepen into that is through gratitude and appreciation. So it's when we're taking that time for ourselves daily into our meditations to really just close our eyes and fill our heart with gratitude of all those within our lives, because that really just extends that heart of love. We just recognize the programs, the stories, and we're able to transcend, release, and let go much more quickly. And it doesn't need to be replayed and reacted out in that physical reality. So we just breathe it through the body, just knowing that we are the light of God. The light of God we are. We are the light of God. The light of God we are. Just feel that and sense that. As we do, we just start to deepen into that self-love within ourselves. Taking a moment in these deep rhythmic breaths, just breathing in love, breathing out love. And as we do, we just energetically or physically place our hands upon our loving hearts as we say to ourselves, I love you. Just giving our full names now, I love you. I love you, I love you. We say to ourselves, I open myself to love and all that love brings. I accept into my loving heart the love of my multiverse, my universe, my beloved I am present, my higher selves, my future selves, beloved friends and family, knowing how much I am celebrated, appreciated, and deeply loved. And again, we simply breathe deep into the body, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose or mouth. As we do this, we have a sense of this beautiful golden sun expand from the loving heart and wrapped now in this beautiful pink flame of divine love. And within this, we see this pink, we see this blue, we see this golden light, this threefold flame of power, love, and wisdom. Just expand from the loving heart as a flame of light within and around the body. As we continue this deep rhythmic breath, each time we see the golden sun, the inner Christ, expand from the loving heart. As we do this breath now, breathing in, we hold the breath, and as we release the breath, we just release all that is ready to be released in this now moment. To step deeper into the trust, the surrender, the love of our universe. Breathing in love, holding the breath, breathing out love. Within each breath, loving more, not less, as this beautiful golden sun continues to expand around the body and energy field. Into this sacred space, we invite all the illumined beings of light from on high we personally acknowledge, along with our master guides and our guardian angel. And we have a sense too of connecting into the energy of Mother Earth and into all these beautiful Andara frequencies and crystals. And in particular, it's the Sisterhood of the Rose, divine love and Andara frequency that activates. And as we draw this up through the feet and into the heart, we are wrapped now in this beautiful red, orange, golden diamond light, which instantly draws to us the energy and overlighting of the Sisterhood of the Rose. Divine Mother Mary steps forward. Lady Isis, and it's Mary Magdalene, and it's Lady Venus, Lady Hathor, Lady Portia, Lady Kuan Yin, and all other divine feminine deities we acknowledge. Joining us in the sacred sphere. One heart, one love, one unified field of light. As we have a sense of all the beloved souls joining us heart to heart. This higher light level. As we expand our loving hearts now, this beautiful pink, and red and orange and golden diamond light with infusions of blue, gold and pink representing the threefold flame. Our own beautiful soul light expands 54 feet in diameter around us into this beautiful golden sun sphere. As we continue to breathe in love, hold our breath, breathe out. We have a sense of deepening into perfect alignment with our beloved I Am Presence and the beloved I Am Presence of all awakening and awakened soul. As we have continually affirmed, I love you. Giving our full names now. I love you. I love you. I am open to all that love brings. I am open to all that love brings. As I walk the pathway of the rose, as I expand into new earth, as I merge my divine masculine and feminine frequencies within, as I birth my innocence and divinity, and light. You have a sense now of this beautiful diamond octahedron activating within the heart and thymus chakras, initially spinning in this counterclockwise direction. This octahedron of 8 faces of equilateral triangles, forming 2 4-sided pyramids, just collapsing and dissolving now. All the old timelines no longer needing to be experienced. And with it, perhaps dissolving the timelines that are causing us pain in this now. The diamond light is the highest light frequency spiraling forth from the cosmic heart of Mother, Father, God, bringing through the diamond light codes of the innocence, divinity, beloved I Am Presence, infusions of this crystalline light that connect us ever deeper as the flames of divine love into and through the unity grid of divine love. So we have a sense now of connecting into and as the unity grid of divine love. to beloved brothers and sisters and illumined beings of light from on high, and drawing to us all that we need in this now. Every frequency, every feeling, every thought that will create our reality. It's the reality of divine love. And we hold that for a moment as these beautiful Andara frequencies and energies ignite and activate, flaming around our body and energy field, coming up through the feet chakra into the hand chakras. And if we are guided, we place our hands energetically or physically upon different parts of the body, continually affirming I love you and giving our names. I am open to all that love brings. I love you. I love you. And now this beautiful diamond octahedron starts to spin in a clockwise direction. As we deepen into the newer templates, the patterns of perfection, the sacred geometries, numerology, sound and color frequencies, and particularly hearing, sonic frequencies, gamma hertz frequencies through the inner ears. As all these sacred geometries, cube, dodecahedron, star tetrahedron, and flower of life ignite and activate in our beautiful golden sun sphere, 54 feet in diameter around us. In our request for the light body, the Macabre, to activate to the fifth dimensional templates of New Earth. As you visualize and sense 3 superimposed star tetrahedrons around the body within a beautiful golden sun sphere, 12 feet in diameter around you, coming from the apex of the top tetrahedron touching 2.4 feet above the crown chakra, and the apex of the bottom tetrahedron touching 2.4 feet below the body. We are going to spin star tetrahedrons at specific Fibonacci ratios, Godspeed to infinity, within the beautiful golden sun sphere, 54 feet in diameter around you. Emotional, mental body star tetrahedrons will spin, while the etheric body star tetrahedron remains stationary over the body. Mental body star tetrahedron will be always the highest count, spinning counterclockwise. The emotional body, a clockwise direction. We relax the breath. For each breath now we're going to suck in and blow out. As I repeat the Fibonacci ratios, Godspeed, we then suck in and blow out. This is a speed impossible to measure, activating each time the light body, the Macabre field, to the frequency of New Earth, shifting timelines, dimensions, to hold within our loving heart all the magic, manifestation, love, appreciation, and abundance of New Earth. Let us begin. 8 to 5, 11 times Godspeed to infinity. 13 to 8, 22 times Godspeed to infinity. 21 to 13, 33 times Godspeed to infinity. 34 to 21, 44 times Godspeed to infinity. 55 to 34, 55 times Godspeed to infinity. 89 to 55, 66 times Godspeed to infinity. And lastly now, 144 to 89, 77 times Godspeed to infinity. We have a sense now of merging with all 144 soul ray aspects of ourselves. As every subatomic particle spins in this increased light frequency, expanding the loving heart as a stargate into the vibrational energy of New Earth, from within to without. As the consciousness expands, you have a sense too of Divine Mother Mary stepping forward and inviting you now into her temple of the Immaculate Heart. Your loving heart expands into this gateway of divine love. You have a sense of the dimensions merging into this now, in which you are the Sisterhood of the Rose, in which you have experienced timelines going back all the way through Lemuria and Atlantis and ancient Egypt, Mayan and Aztec cultures, and many other timelines in the Middle Ages. To expand the light of Mother, Father, God through the flame of divine love and the overlighting of the beloved sisters and brothers known as the Sisterhood of the Rose. This flame of divine love, this beautiful pink flame of divine love, expands from the loving heart in these hues of golden light, orange and reds, and diamond light, as the Kundalini ignites and activates, and you gently move the body backwards and forwards. You take the flame of divine love into every space and place within that needs your love, and then shift it into your outer reality, to your family, to your friends, and to the sacred earth. Connecting with the Sisterhood of the Rose, all the members around and within the sacred earth and on the inner planes, and to all the Andara crystals holding the frequency of divine love. Remember that you are love. The power of love is the power of your manifestations. Your open heart expands with ease and grace and trust and surrender into the next level of divine love and innocence and purity and divinity. as you embody your frequency and energy as a member of the Sisterhood of the Rose. As this occurs, Divine Mother Mary, through her Temple of the Immaculate Heart and the overlighting of all the Sisterhood of the Rose, comes forward with this beautiful red rose of love and places us within your loving heart, illuminating the light of God within with the energy of love, self-love, self-appreciation, self-nurturing. As you find yourself merging with the Mother Queen, Father King Archetype, to lovingly extend your frequency and energy to all upon this sacred earth through deepening levels of service in love. To lovingly love all that arises and embrace it within the loving heart. All the pain, all the shame, all the anger, all the grief, and all the grief for what is being experienced on this sacred earth. Through all this war, through all this unconscious acts, violence, separation, death, decay. To hold the light of God, the deepening level of trusting and surrendering and letting go, while inviting into your loving heart all those aspects, sub-personality aspects that have forgotten that they are love. As you energetically or physically place your hands upon your loving heart, letting them find their way home into love, into your sacred heart, to your kingdom of divine love. Experiencing a deepening level, trust, surrender. So Kundalini and Tantric channels activate as you gently move the body backwards and forwards, from side to side, backwards and forwards. Everything is all right. All is well. Affirm to yourself. There is no need to judge. There is no need to blame. I am doing all I can in this now, according to the level of my consciousness. I trust and surrender to my universe, to the heart of love. As I say to my universe, bring it on. Whatever it is I am still needing to see and face, release and let go of in this now, bring it on. Through my loving heart, I no longer need to experience the karmic timelines. Through my loving heart, I am rooted and seated in the heart of love, in the arms of Divine Mother Mary and her temple of the Immaculate Heart. As I further call upon my beloved, I am present to activate the greatest level of divine love through the seed of God consciousness within my loving heart, the atom Cadmon particles of light. To expand my consciousness so I can view and see and perceive the multiple timelines, to choose all that is soul aligned. As the light of God, I am the light of God. And now I take this beautiful red rose activate it now through the hearts of every man, woman and child upon the sacred earth. Through their beloved I am present, amplifying this flow of love with compassion and kindness, generosity, understanding. As I receive this back 1,000-fold, 1,000 times, the heart and thymus expand, the angelic wings through the back of the loving heart ignite. As I deepen into my light, as my beloved, I am present. As a sacred transfiguring flame of divine love, as this master being of light. I am all that I am. I am. I am. As you simply take a moment to affirm to yourself, I am. I am. I am. I am. I am loved. I am celebrated. I am appreciated. I hold the flame of divine love deep within my heart, loving more, not less. And no matter what reality I may still be experiencing, no matter what situation I am in, I allow myself to embrace and love, accept, and appreciate each experience I am having. For I am love. I am love. I am love. I step into complete trust and surrender to my universe. I remove the veils of illusion to see the higher perspectives and embody my highest light. Walking the path of the rose. I am cherished. I am loved. I am held. Imromosoia inkaino koa. Deep rhythmic breath. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose or mouth. Lady Isis steps forward now with this beautiful pink rose of appreciation and gratitude. And as you accept this beautiful pink rose within the loving heart, deepen into finding the greatest level of appreciation and gratitude. Every circumstance, every situation, and starting initially now, just the gratitude and appreciation of all those within your life as you take this beautiful pink rose from your heart to the heart of all those that come to mind as you breathe in love and gratitude. Breathe out love and gratitude. You recognize the pre-birth agreements you have made, this karmic dance of victim and persecutor consciousness, to know yourself as love, and that in this now all is amplified, magnetized, in order for you to completely let go and let God, and to rewrite the universal Akasha from this now and every now moment. So you bring your focus through that appreciation and gratitude for all that has been experienced in each now moment, no matter how uncomfortable it may be, to this now, creating anew all you would like within your life as this master co-creator and flame of divinity and light of God. Through the heart of love and the wisdom of the higher mind, the higher perspectives of truth, how will you choose to live your life? I offered this opportunity that would assist you to not only rise above the challenges, but to let go, let God create anew in each now moment. by bringing your focus to all that is soul aligned. How you will expand into new earth with the magic, manifestation, abundance and love, simply through the frequency you hold. Power of love and your ability to manifest all that you need in each now moment. As this occurs, the pineal gland now activates, and with this too, the left and right eye of Horus. The left eye of Horus, the emotional body, aligns as Lady Isis now brings forth the knowing of being the high priest and priestess to the order of Melchizedek. In this knowing of the timelines that present, it is now ancient Egypt, the 12 temples along the river Nile. This timeline we draw upon, 12 years of initiations, mastered through the ability to expand the loving heart no matter what is being experienced, to let go, to let go. And you draw now upon this memory, these light codes, activating now the timelines of initiation of ancient Egypt, and drawing to you as timelines of self-mastery of your high priest and priestess selves within this timeline. The pineal activates, and now the pituitary, hypothalamus and thalamus to the higher perspectives of truth. You now experience the right eye of Horus, the temple teachings of light, of hieroglyphics, sacred geometries, the immortal key codes, the key codes of rejuvenation and regeneration, which simply is the light that spins the subatomic particles in the crystalline consciousness. Light within each subatomic particle now increases, as does the spin rate as you deepen into 0 point. The memory of knowing all is light, all is love. The scrolls of light ignite through the third eye, the 48 symbols of immortality ignite now in the pineal gland as you simply bring forth the remembrance beyond the veils of illusion of this timeline into this now, to receive and know the true balancing through the left and right eye of Horus into the middle eye, the codes of light that allow for the light body activation of the spiritual and physical ascension as we speak in the language of light. Imromo soia in kaino koa in kono soa ina mahia inomo soa kia in kaino koa. To the next level of the soul's blossoming magnificence and light, to amplify each frequency, each thought, each action in alignment to the highest potentiality, the timelines of New Earth. With this dance of the masculine and feminine ignite, as does this recalibration between the left and right hemispheres of the brain, between the pituitary, pineal, hypothalamus and thalamus glands, moving into this deepest reunions of heart, this divine alchemical marriage, as the Kundalini ignites and activates from chakra to chakra to chakra. The Fibonacci ratios 8 to 5, 13 to 8, 21 to 13, 34 to 21, 55 to 34, 89 to 55, 144 to 89, spinning the chakras as vortices of light, activating now the stargates of the solar plexus into solar Christ consciousness. As infusions of the photonic light experience now, coming through the crown and up and down the spine, bringing forth now all multi-dimensional aspects, all merging in this now. Into the timelines of self-mastery, the new dance, the universal Akasha expands, all now through the temple of the Immaculate Heart and your own beautiful golden hearts. You're just simply in this space, holding your light, this vibrating portal of divine love. Mary Magdalene places within your loving heart the white rose of purity and innocence, a deepening of your innocence, purity and divinity, amplifying the experience of the light of creation to greater levels, innocence, illumination, purity, innocence, the magical child. So subatomic particles spin in this increased light frequency. The original divine blueprint ignites. You take a moment now to simply expand these flames of light upon this sacred earth. It's pink, red, orange, diamond and golden light. Thank the Sisterhood of the Light. knowing that you are welcome to Mother Mary's Temple of the Immaculate Heart anytime you choose. You come back now grounded and centered and firmly in the body, knowing how much you are celebrated, appreciated, and deeply loved. All is well. All is well. Good. In your own time, you gently open your eyes, being fully present. As you say to yourself once more, I love you. Giving your full name now. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Soia. Inkaino.